lashed out to suddenly attack or criticize someone. Feeling the stress of the deadline, the manager lashes out at his team for minor mistakes. Discredited, having lost reputation or respect. The scientist's once famous theory was discredited after several failed replication attempts. Strait, a narrow passage of water connecting two seas. The shipping lane through the strait remains one of the busiest trade routes in the world. Blockade, an act of sealing off a place to prevent goods from moving. The unexpected naval blockade caused a sudden shortage of imported goods in the city. Retaliation, the action of returning a military attack or injury. The government promised a swift retaliation against the cyberattack on its national security database. Flippantly, in a way that is not showing a serious or respectful attitude. He spoke flippantly about the company's financial crisis, which upset many of the investors. Interdicting, prohibiting or intercepting something. Coast Guard units are responsible for interdicting illegal shipments in international waters. Logistical, relating to the organization of a complex operation. The team faced major logistical challenges when trying to move the heavy equipment across the desert. Defiant, showing open resistance or bold disobedience. Despite the heavy fines, the local shop owner remained defiant and refused to close his business. Alliances, unions or associations formed for mutual benefit. New trade alliances between the neighboring countries have significantly boosted the regional economy. Dispatching, sending someone or something to a destination. The central hospital is dispatching more emergency medical teams to the disaster zone. Foreclose, to rule out or prevent a course of action. We should keep the negotiations open and not foreclose any possibilities for a peaceful resolution. Adversary, one's opponent in a contest, conflict, or dispute. In the upcoming election, he will face a formidable adversary with decades of political experience. Diplomatic/diplomats, relating to international relations. The two nations are trying to find a diplomatic solution to the border dispute. Dismisses, to treat something as unworthy of serious consideration. The CEO often dismisses new ideas if they don't align with the company's traditional values. Uprising, an act of resistance or rebellion. What started as a local protest quickly turned into a nationwide uprising against the regime. Solidarity, unity or agreement of feeling or action. Thousands of people marched through the streets in solidarity with the striking workers. Scrambling, moving hurriedly or clumsily, struggling to achieve something. Retailers are scrambling to restock their shelves before the holiday shopping season begins. Reimbursement, repayment for money spent or lost. Please keep your travel receipts so that the office can process your reimbursement next week. Volatility, the quality of being subject to rapid and unpredictable change. Investors are concerned about the current volatility in the global stock markets. Foregoing, going without something desirable or enjoyable. Many young families are foregoing luxury vacations to save enough money for a house deposit. Eurasia, the combined continental landmass of Europe and Asia. The ancient Silk Road was a vital trade link that connected different cultures across Eurasia. Crude, natural petroleum as it comes from the ground. The price of crude oil has hit a record high due to the ongoing supply chain issues. Stranglehold, complete power or control over a person or situation. Large tech companies often have a stranglehold on the market, making it hard for startups to compete. Petrochemicals, chemicals obtained from petroleum and natural gas. The manufacturing of plastic products relies heavily on various types of petrochemicals. Aluminum, a lightweight silvery white metal. Aluminum is widely used in the aerospace industry because it is both strong and light. Escalate, to increase rapidly in intensity or magnitude. If the two parties cannot reach an agreement, the conflict may escalate into a legal battle. Reiterated. To say something again or a number of times for clarity. The teacher reiterated the importance of finishing the homework before Friday. Fungible, mutually interchangeable or replaceable. In economics, cash is considered a fungible asset because $1 is equal to any other dollar. Preservationist, a person who advocates for the protection of historic buildings. The local preservationist group is fighting to save the historic theater from being demolished. Steward, a person whose job is to manage or look after something. As a doctor, he sees himself as a steward of his patients' long-term health and well-being. Amendment, a minor change or addition designed to improve a text. The board of directors proposed an amendment to the company's existing bylaws. Massacre, an indiscriminate and brutal slaughter of people. The history book detailed the tragic massacre that occurred during the Civil War. Downplayed, to make something appear less important than it really is. The company's spokesperson downplayed the impact of the data leak to avoid public panic. Hostile, unfriendly or antagonistic, relating to an enemy. The witness felt that the lawyer's questioning was becoming increasingly hostile. Obliges, to make someone legally or morally bound to an action. The new contract obliges the contractor to complete all repairs within 30 days. Mourned, to feel or show deep sorrow for someone's death. The entire nation mourned the passing of the beloved national hero. Crippled, severely damaged or incapacitated. The sudden economic downturn has crippled many small businesses in the tourist district. Chaired, to act as the chairperson of a meeting or committee. The annual meeting was chaired by the most senior member of the advisory board. Glitches, a sudden, usually temporary, malfunction of equipment. Technical glitches during the live broadcast caused a short delay in the program. Inducted, formally admit someone to a position or organization. The legendary player was finally inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame last year. Allegations, claims that someone has done something wrong or illegal. The politician resigned following serious allegations of corruption and bribery. Orthodoxy, authorized or generally accepted theory or practice. Many young artists today choose to challenge the traditional orthodoxy of the art world. Deferential, showing humble submission and respect. He maintained a deferential tone while speaking to the elder members of his family. Stringent, strict, precise, and exacting. The food industry must follow stringent safety guidelines to prevent contamination. Scrutiny, critical observation or examination. Every detail of the new budget plan will be under intense scrutiny from the public. Realign, to change or restore to a different or former position. The company had to realign its marketing strategy to attract a younger audience. Dissenter/dissent, a person who disagrees, the act of disagreeing. There was one strong dissenter who refused to sign the final agreement. Concurring, being of the same opinion, agreeing. Several other experts published concurring opinions on the results of the research. Discriminate, to treat someone unfairly based on prejudice. It is illegal for any employer to discriminate against job applicants based on their age. Efficacy, the ability to produce a desired or intended result. Doctors are still testing the efficacy of the new drug in treating rare skin conditions. Rationale, a set of reasons or a logical basis for a course of action. The manager explained the rationale behind the decision to move the office to the suburbs. Consensus, a general agreement among a group of people. After hours of discussion, the committee finally reached a consensus on the new policy. Tarnished, made less valuable or respected, stained. His reputation was tarnished by the news that he had been involved in the scandal. Disgraced, having fallen from a position of honor or power. The disgraced executive was forced to return all the bonuses he had received. Dismantled, to take something apart or deconstruct it. It took the crew only a few hours to have the entire stage dismantled after the concert. Leonize/Leonizing, to treat someone as a celebrity or hero. Fans tend to Leonize successful athletes, often ignoring their personal flaws. Indefensible, not able to be maintained or justified. His behavior during the meeting was completely indefensible and unprofessional. Adorn, to make more beautiful or attractive. Colorful lanterns will adorn the streets during the upcoming traditional festival. Murals, paintings or artworks executed directly on a wall. The local artists painted beautiful murals on the old buildings to brighten up the neighborhood. Tributes, acts or statements intended to show respect. Many fans left flowers and letters as tributes to the late singer outside his home. Reckoning, the avenging or punishing of past mistakes. After years of ignoring the environmental issues, the company is finally facing a day of reckoning. Fracture, a crack or break in a hard object, to split. Political disagreements have begun to fracture the unity of the local community. Sentiment, a view or attitude toward a situation, an opinion. Market sentiment remains positive despite the recent drop in consumer spending. Condone, to accept or allow morally wrong behavior to continue. The school principal stated that he would not condone any form of bullying on campus. Windfall, an unexpected piece of good fortune or money. The unexpected inheritance was a huge windfall for the family during their difficult times. Anonymously, doing something without revealing one's name. An anonymously written letter was sent to the police, providing a clue to the case. Better, a person who bets or gambles. A lucky bettor won the jackpot after placing a small wager on the underdog team. Payouts, sums of money paid to someone. Insurance companies have started making payouts to the victims of the recent flood. Lucrative, producing a great deal of profit. Moving into the digital market turned out to be a very lucrative move for the business. Opportunistic, exploiting chances for personal gain without regard for principles. He was criticized for taking an opportunistic approach to his career advancement. Morality, principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong. The film explores the complex morality of making difficult choices during wartime. Wager, to risk money on the outcome of an event, a bet. He was willing to place a large wager that his favorite team would win the championship. Perverse, showing a desire to behave in an unreasonable way. Some people seem to take a perverse pleasure in making others feel uncomfortable. Incentives, things that motivate or encourage someone to do something. The government is offering tax incentives to companies that use renewable energy. Bipartisan, involving the agreement of two opposing political parties. The new education bill received strong bipartisan support in the parliament today. Prolific, producing many works or offspring. The prolific author has published more than 30 novels over the last 10 years. Controversial, giving rise to public disagreement or debate. The decision to build a new highway through the park remains highly controversial. Defendants, people sued or accused in a court of law. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against them by the state. Lobbyists, people who attempt to influence legislators. Professional lobbyists often spend months trying to convince politicians to vote for a specific law. Facilitate, to make an action or process easier. The new online system was designed to facilitate faster communication between teachers and parents. Brazen, bold, and without shame. The thief's brazen attempt to steal the jewelry in broad daylight shocked the shoppers. Commutations, the reduction of a judicial sentence. The governor granted several commutations for nonviolent offenders this holiday season. Discretion, the power or right to decide or act according to one's judgment. Parents should use their discretion when deciding which movies are appropriate for their children. Restitution, the restoration of something lost or stolen. Compensation. The court ordered the thief to make full restitution to the victims for the stolen goods. Appalled, feeling great dismay or horror. I was appalled by the lack of basic safety measures at the construction site. Incurred, to become subject to something unwelcome as a result of one's actions. The company incurred heavy losses after their latest product failed to attract customers. Turmoil, a state of great disturbance, confusion, or uncertainty. The sudden resignation of the Prime Minister has thrown the country into political turmoil. Crucible, a situation of severe trial, a place where different elements interact. The training camp served as a crucible that turned raw recruits into disciplined soldiers. Hysteria, exaggerated or uncontrollable emotion or excitement. The news of the approaching storm caused widespread hysteria throughout the coastal city. Maelstrom, a powerful whirlpool, a state of violent turmoil. The small business was caught in a maelstrom of legal and financial problems. Affiliation, the state of being officially attached or connected to an organization. He decided to hide his political affiliation during the job interview to remain neutral. Formalize, to give something a definite structure or official status. The two companies hope to formalize their partnership with a signed contract next month. Coup, a sudden, violent, and illegal seizure of power. The military coup was successfully blocked by the citizens who took to the streets. Politicized, to cause an event to become political in character. It is unfortunate that a simple public health issue has become so politicized. Apolitical, not interested or involved in politics. The charitable organization remains strictly apolitical to ensure it can help everyone. Sopranos/mezzo-sopranos, types of high-pitched singing voices. The young soprano delivered a breathtaking performance during the opening of the opera. Wrestled, to grapple with an opponent, to struggle with a difficulty. The committee wrestled with the difficult decision of which school to close. Afield, to or at a distance, away from the subject. The research team had to travel further afield to collect samples from the remote mountains. Auditorium, the part of a building where an audience sits. The new university auditorium can hold up to 2,000 people for lectures. Venue, the place where an organized event happens. The organizers are looking for a larger venue to host the International Tech Conference. Fosters, to encourage or promote the development of something. The school's music program fosters creativity and teamwork among the students. Injustices, lack of fairness or justice. The activist has dedicated his life to fighting social injustices in marginalized communities.